Hello, and welcome to the Wild Series, a verse novella about baseball for big stakes by Steel Donkey. Part 2, Home Game. Chapter 1, Spring Training. The creatures of the savage wild of every type and name have put aside their personal feuds. We love a baseball game. The playground stands would overflow on every weekend day. Fluffy with slither, long neck with claw, all cheer their heroes play. The players are mixed together in teams that cause surprise. Leopard turns double plays with baboon. Impala and cheetah chase flies. What once was a land of carnage, hunting, hiding, and fears, was now just competitive fun, accepting equals with cheers. Word of this realm of baseball and peace spread to faraway lands. Enchantment with this magic dream touched hitters, pitchers, and fans. Big Hoppy addressed her family. It's time to take a chance. Peace, good fortune, and baseball will improve our circumstance. It's a land, they say, that's tranquil, where they've abandoned kills. Our Joeys could be carefree there, they'd value my baseball skills. Families began a long journey, up mountain through abyss, across deserts dry and oceans wide, to seek that land of bliss. Creatures unseen in this country, camel, aardvark, and boar, uprooted their lives and families in search of that life secure. Many with outstanding talent soon were welcomed to play. For some who once played on a team, this led to much dismay. I was the ace of the staff once. Then Jane the Gibbon moved in. Her curveball moves much more than mine, brachiating arms that spin.
I feel much the same way myself. I was fast in the field. Ever since those Springboks moved here, my place I've had to yield.
I was a powerful hitter. In the wall I put some dents, but kangaroos and polar bears hit balls over the fence. Said the cheetah, some have remarked, the 6 is when I'll tire. Arabian horse will play 2 games, yet will hardly perspire. The resentment grew and slowly spread, festering like a wound, among those now not good enough, benched or only platooned. Chapter 2, Early Season. The mutterings grew still louder, the volume turned up full. Soon the grumbling came to the ears of wealthy Durham the Bull. What's our gain from them coming here? Our natural-born players lose out. With every extra home run hit, our locals lose more clout. Meanwhile, all their stars with strange names strut around wearing bling. Our land, once great, is not anymore. We've become second string. We've let newcomers surpass us, weak where once we were strong. It's time we set up our own league, just those who've lived here long. I'll build a brand new stadium where all our fans will fit, but only those who were born here will catch and pitch and hit. The tickets to the games we'll sell to pay for golden walls that keep all those we don't want here outside our hallowed halls. Construction was soon begun, golden walls erected. The opening day game was set, teams to be selected. And then the announcement went out. All could buy a game ticket, but those wanting to play must show a local birth certificate.
Only those who were born nearby and grew up hereabout
are allowed to play in this game. Others from now on are out. But just to dispel hard feelings, all fans can watch the game. The golden walls of this new park will hugely enlarge my fame. Tickets to this opening game all baseball fans desire. Saving such collector's items can help your career catch fire. You need this valuable ticket if you've the wherewithal. Someday it may be worth more than the cost of my golden wall. So step right up and purchase now. These tickets won't last long. Get out your wallets. Hand me your cash. Trust me, you won't go wrong. Big Hoppy the kangaroo said, "Let's choose two sides of 9. We're good too. Why do they treat us as though we're borderline?" While most paid the price for a ticket and showed up on game day, Polar Bear, Camel, and others went to the Sandlot to play. Bull Durham selected a team born within a few miles. Laffy, Leo, and Rob Deer too. The crowd's faces showed smiles. It's good to see all our locals. Now we will stand and cheer. They used to give special preference to those born far from here. The fans didn't know the opponents. They were a Durham surprise.
a really huge team for a really huge game. Just keep watching the skies.
Far away the crowd heard a thrum of many engines and blades. Was this just a publicity stunt, like Durham's frequent parades? The choppers steadily drew close. 9 engines made loud roars. The gazing crowd saw beneath each a sling plus 9 dinosaurs.
Now welcome our fine opponents, flown from my park Cretaceous.
For baseball, as for everything else, their appetites voracious. 9 choppers slowly descended to set their loads on the grass. Above floated a pterosaur, order of the reptile class. Hulk Harrelson, just selected, center fielder for his side, gazed up and mused. No home runs today. That thing will just hang glide. T-Rex, overhearing the talk, said with a sarcastic smile, "She's not even a true dinosaur. She's just a flying reptile." Terry the pterosaur heard the T-Rex. A pain looked across her face. She flew low over the dinosaur, then to her center field place. Leo the lion summoned his team as the dinosaurs stretched. They're pretty big, I must admit. On his face, worry was etched. But we aren't all that small ourselves. Sizemore the elephant, catch. Ugla gorilla and Hippo Vaughan, you'll make a good infield match. Laffy hyena, you're ready? Our weapon is your curveball. Size and strength won't help if they can't hit your pitches at all. Leo now led out his players. The crowd cheered spirits high. It's good to see our locals here. 3 cheers for the old school tie. Laffy's pitching was sharp this day, on the edge of home plate. In the stadium, fans cheered him on. But what's that beyond the gate? Chapter 3, Mid-Season. From the trees in the woods beyond, a figure now emerged and made its way step after step beneath high grass submerged. As fans cheered on the home team's plays, how our fans support us! Outside the gate, plodding along, there was Slowy the tortoise. Slowy'd heard about the big game and bought a ticket online. He started walking to the park, past a stand of scrub pine. In the clearing he saw being played a ball game in its midst. Some he'd thought he'd see later on had old bats, balls, and mitts. The animals here were laughing, camel, musk ox, kangaroo. "Hey, Slowy, come and play with us. We could use a pitcher like you." "Thanks, but I'm off to the big game. My seat's front row bleachers." "I'm surprised that you won't be there. You should be main features." Big Hoppy said, "What, you've not heard? By maps, we're excluded. We thought that this was our home too. Seems we were deluded." "But you need to hurry, Slowy. It's late, so don't delay. Your home team's just a little thin. They might choose you to play," said Slowy. "This all disturbs me. You folks, you had so much. Fun and laughter, real good fielding, and hitting in the clutch." "Go on, Slowy. Enjoy the game." "I'm sad, I must confess. I'll go, but any victory will somehow now seem less." So Slowy resumed his journey, one slow step at a time, heading toward those golden walls, a heavy-hearted climb. But as he neared the main gate, his ticket in his paw, two figures in deep conversation were just ahead, he saw. Two horned heads bent close together, talking about a deal. Slowy heard one of them whisper, "It's much more than a meal. My beautiful Park Cretaceous is making me go broke." "Hey, you know we'd eat a lot." "Now you'll eat foreign folk." "I'm just an old triceratops. I'm not a carnivore. Meat doesn't mean a thing to me. There's grasslands here galore. As a bull, we've much in common. You manage the dino team. You tell me what your players want, I can answer their dream. Consider your big sauropods, the ones that munch on trees. There's a whole jungle right out here. The chance is theirs to seize. Though at my Park Cretaceous are saplings I've planted and grown, here I've nurtured a bigger tree beyond anything known." Triceratops nodded his head. "Fine for a young herbivore. But for T-Rex and theropods, they all want to eat more. Right after winning the ball game, they like exotic meat. But once they've had those foreigners, locals will be more sweet." Durham the bull then softly sighed. "That's the heart of the deal. But if you should lose today's game, no one gets any meal. I've made many bets with bookies. Billions are now on the line. As long as your team wins this game, everything will be fine. But if you should lose the contest, things could hardly be worse. Money all gone, truth will come out. My name will be a curse. We are all in this together. If you lose, what happens then? I'll be raw beef for bookies. You guys, back to your pen." Judging just from the silent crowd, the game must be a rout. So let's go back inside the gate before the final out. Alone now Slowy stood frozen, hidden, barely breathing. Though slow of gait, his brain now raced, his emotions seething. We fans won't lose, only a game, Slowy said, his voice hoarse. That stadium's a golden stew pot. We'll be the second course. He thought a bit longer, then turned, heading away from the park, knowing that what his friends now faced was grim, fearful, and stark. Raffy'd started the game out well, his strikeout total high. His curveball's control made it tough for batters to hit a fly. But the game had taken a turn. Worse had come to worst. For when the Dinos hit the ball, they didn't stop at first. Sizemore the elephant was catching. She tried to block home plate. Brachiosaurus pumping down was 10 times Sizemore's weight. Time and again Sizemore would try and wind up in the dirt. The umpire said she tagged 2 out. She was one massive hurt. To call the game still a contest seemed to be a misnomer, for even though the hits were few, most turned into a homer. The Dino's weakness was pitching, the job of a hadrosaur. His fastball control was fair, but speed to the plate was poor. Leo and Sizemore and Ugla each gave the ball a ride. But Terry the pterosaur soared, though her teammates were snide. She catched it like an acrobat. What a defensive wizard! Her teammates hooted, shouting out, Look, an ugly lizard! Slowly the baseball game wore on. Innings dwindled to a few. The crowd was very quiet now, trailing by 4-2. Looks like we'll lose on opening day. We'll get better, don't fear. This is hardly a crucial game.
Hey, wait until next year.
Chapter 4. Pennant Race. The 9th came and some of the fans got up to beat the crowd. They walked to where the main gate was.
Leaving is not allowed.
Durham the Bull spoke to the crowd over the stadium mic.
Quitting is something losers do, and losers we don't like. Please take your seats, stay to the end, then wait a minute or two. For those who wait, it's quite worthwhile. There's a surprise for you.
Maybe you'll have a lottery. Was that one of his tweets? Inside the gate, the crowd turned back and all resumed their seats. But then they heard a noise outside, a banging at the gate. Let us in and we'll help you win, or all will meet their fate.
Sure, the bull said, we'll let you in. More, they say, is merrier. No one leaves but those wanting in. Come right through the barrier.
Suddenly, all those animals who'd come from distant lands, polar bear, muskox, kangaroo, merged with the baseball fans. Slowy the tortoise now stood up and jumped into the pouch of the kangaroo Big Hoppy. Tell Leo I will vouch. The kangaroo went on the field up to Leo the lion. You must let my and the others ply, said Leo.
I ain't buyin'. Durham the bull arranged this game specially for the locals. He told us you outsiders think we're a bunch of yokels.
But Leo, this is all a fike to save Durham's fortune. He's betting on the dinosaurs. Please listen, I importune.
You people just don't like Durham. Him you'll always accuse of deception and subterfuge. Enough with your fake views.
Okay, Leo, how about me? Slowy jumped in too. We've been friends for quite a while. My word not good for you? Is this how far we've fallen now, distrusting long-time friends? If so, perhaps we'll reap our fates, deserve to meet our ends. Distrust and hatred now have spread. This may be what we've earned, but please, I must beseech you now, listen to what I've learned. I heard the bull outside the park talking to the dino's boss. Bad enough to bet against us and profit from our loss. But worse, Durham has promised that when the dinosaurs win, they'll eat each tree and animal. Leo, the fix is in. The only way to win this game, use the talent we've got. What's vital is who lives here now. Use the best of the lot.
Leo listened, and then he said, Slowy, you've never lied. Not just our lives are on the line. I'm thinking of my pride. Is this the land that we all want for hatchlings and our cubs? With doors that open wide for some, for others, scorn and snubs. So now let's head out for the ninth. We still have got a chance. Newcomers will play where they're skilled. Our team they will enhance.
The outfielders promised themselves they'd snag each drive and pop, knowing if any ball fell in, hitters would just not stop. And so in the top of the ninth, Laffy's still on the mound. For each baseball the dinos hit, fielder's leather was found. Arabian horse had to take to the gallop to grab a long drive on the track. Hawk then flew high in the sky for a fly. For the third out, the Springbok sprang back. And so in the last of the ninth, the score still 4-2. Leo first up, then muskox, then polar bear, kangaroo. Meanwhile, for the starting players who'd been sent to the bench, now they knew what was going on, their fists began to clench. We've all got to get out of here. They'll eat us, I've no doubt. Let's spread the word to all the rest. Time's passing with each out. A muttering grew in the crowd as Slowy's warning spread. These golden walls are just a trap. Once the game ends, we're dead. They all looked at the outfield wall, the dinosaurs between. No way around and no way past, penned in by monsters green. There's still one lonely chance we've got. Here my hopes I'm pinning, said Slowy. Durham's plot depends on the dinos winning. All Durham's hopes will disappear if the dinos get beat. He well might do some stupid things reacting to defeat. And so the sad crowd focused on the game between the chalk. Then with one out, a murmur rose. Muskox squeezed out a walk. Next batter up was Polar Bear. He watched the first pitch low. I stay real cool in the clutch and always go with the flow. Then he smashed a single to right, 2 feet above the ground. A hopeful cheer greeted the hit. Bull Durham's face now frowned. Next, Big Hoppy hopped to the plate, famed to hit in pressure. The first 2 strikes she watched go by, taking the pitcher's measure. Then she swung, and the spheroid soared toward the center field wall. Out that way was the pterosaur, who flew to catch the ball. Look out, ugly lizard ahoy! Yelled her dino teammates. So good at snaring high fly balls, no good at getting dates. All the dinosaurs laughed and jeered. Her skin's just like leather. Terry, you'd be much better off wearing a coat of feather. Terry had the ball all lined up above the wall quite high, but at the last second she dipped and waved the ball goodbye. Chapter 5, Postseason. The dinosaurs all stared in shock. At home plate, 3 runs scored. The crowd cheered, "Yay, Big Hoppy!" "Losers!" the angry bull roared. "Stupid dinos, I've lost billions. Jerks, you'll now face my rage. Traitors, you dare play games with me? Enjoy life in your cage. All of you now, here and line up." The bull ran on the grass. "Choppers, report to the ballpark." "Sir, we're all out of gas." "We went and tried to fill our tanks, just as you directed, but at the refueling station, your credit's now rejected. And Mr. Durham, you owe us. Pilots don't work for free. We brought all the dinosaurs there. How will you pay our fee?" The bull's face looked crestfallen now. He knew that he was broke. The dinosaurs gathered around. Then Triceratops spoke. "Stupid, jerks, and losers too. Think those words will harm me? You want to put us back in our cage? How big is your army?" The dinosaurs now leaned forward on all sides of the bull. Durham tried to make some retort, his mouth like cotton wool. Suddenly he swiveled and ran, racing for the main gate. The dinosaurs all chased behind, their eyes were filled with hate. "He gave us far too little food. Often he would whip us. Look, there he goes. Get after him. We won't let him slip us." Durham reached and pulled the lever to open the steel door. Out he went, and in close pursuit, a herd of dinosaurs. No one knows if the dinosaurs went back into their pen, but our homeland never heard that Durham bull again. Animals leaving the ballpark sensed their narrow escape. They'd let that Durham divide them, their happy land reshape. "We see we're better together. Strong is not always homespun. Eclectic means best from all sources. Immigrants got it done." Plainly they now could see they must stand together or fall. Each one can be different, yet still all for one, one for all. A brand new resident was welcomed, who soared high up above. For the pterosaur acceptance brought a new emotion, love. Terry gazed down at the others, finally feeling free. Local, immigrant, no difference, as far as I can see. In this presentation, Durham the Bull performed as himself.